Hello, happy almost full moon, happy almost fall equinox. We have a beautiful set of portals. We're walking through these cosmic, divine alignment portals that we can sort of adjust our energies to be able to make the most use of these portals. So that's what these new moon, full moon portals that I've been offering are all about is, we all walk through them. And so might as well walk through them with some consciousness, some awareness, and with some practices and some community and some support to help you really align and make the most out of these energies. It's really what it's all about these days is alignment, because things are happening whether or not we want them to or whether or not we're on board with it. So it's all about sort of lining up with those cosmic energies that are about anyhow. So I'm coming to you from my little cedar cocoon, sitting here with this beautiful elder cedar tree wrapped up in a little park in Portland. So I have a practice I'd like to share with you from Qigong, and it's called bone breathing. So we're going to do two different kinds of bone breathing, and the reason I want to do this today in preparation for the full moon especially is because full moons really expand our energy. It is a time of yang energy. Everything's really bright and light and expansive and expressive and full, and so there can be a tendency to get ungrounded. It's sort of like the tree that the branches have grown too big for the roots, and so it sort of topples over, right? So we don't want to do that. And that can look like, in humans, that can look like anxiety, right? We've got too much energy moving through the system, too much mental energy perhaps, or just an excess of energy in general that can feel sometimes uncomfortable if we've got too much energy in the system for our nervous system to really use. And that can really happen, especially with the Pisces full moon. This is a very creative moon, so very watery. It's also extremely sort of dreamy, kind of like otherworldly. It can sort of send us into these very beautiful kind of altered states. So this is it's the last sign of the zodiac, so it's very much kind of undoing the self, kind of undoing any of these masks that we wear, any of these identities that we hold, any beliefs that we might have. Like Pisces really wants to pull those from us and remind us that we really are just a particle of this grand ocean, this sort of massive wave of humanity, and that's really our true nature. We might like to think we are in control of things, and Pisces full moon will remind us that we certainly are not. So anyhow, the full moon can really expand our energy into a state, as I mentioned, of sort of anxiety, excess energy, things like that. So bone breathing really grounds us, really brings us into the bones, into our roots, right, into our trunk. And so this is a really, really beautiful practice to do right now. The bones also hold a lot of wisdom. So they hold a lot of wisdom of our ancestors, our genetic information, things like this. So it can really help us to access our wisdom from our elders, the elders that have come before us, the ones that have walked this path, and so it really helps us attune to that, to the love of them. Bone breathing, really beautiful for gathering all this sort of cosmic, juicy sort of love energy. Pisces is definitely this unconditional love as well, and channel it into healing. Virgo Pisces axis is really about healing. And so we want to come into ourselves and bring this beautiful energy that we all have access to right now, right? This portal into that alignment of bringing that in. Like sort of, it's almost like capturing this light, just like a crystal captures light and can like make a rainbow. So we're going to do with this bone breathing, capturing that healing energy that's just sort of floating around, bringing it into it's like the deepest part of us, right? The bones, our skeletal structure. That's like our most sort of foundational part of us. And so really beautiful practice to be doing for this full moon. So, and then of course we have this fall equinox coming up, and then this is just a point of balance, and so this can really prepare us for walking through that portal as well, bringing us into greater harmony with the forces that be, with the natural flow of the sun, the cycles of the sun. So bone breathing, we're going to do 2 different types of bone breathing. And so the first one, and you can do this lying down or seated, ideally lying down, soles of the feet on the ground and palms on the ground as well. And so you're going to inhale and imagine your bones expanding. So they're going to get bigger. Right? And then exhale, you're going to feel the bones sort of contract and sort of squeeze out like a sponge. And as you do, you can imagine any excess energy, any stagnant energy just draining straight into the earth. So it's inhale to feel those bones expand, almost like a sponge fills up with water and expands. And then exhale, squeezing out any excess energy, any of that like dirty water from the sponge, just letting it drain down into the earth to be recycled. The earth knows what to do with any of this excess energy. So inhaling to exhaling to squeeze, and inhaling to expand. You can continue with that as long as you like. We're going to go right into the next type of bone breathing we're going to do today. The second portion is really you're sucking energy up from the earth. So you're sucking up that beautiful, juicy energy from the earth. So any of this healing energy that's available right now with this full moon or just in the earth in general, you can do this not on a full moon, of course. And so inhaling, you're going to imagine you're sucking the energy up through your hands and your feet. Almost like sucking them up as if they're straws. And drawing that juicy, luscious, almost like liquid love energy from the earth into the bones. Exhale, allowing that energy to spiral deep into the bones, deep into the marrow. Inhaling, sucking that energy up from the earth through the soles of the feet and the palms. Exhale, driving it deep, deep, deep into the bones. Releasing that practice and just letting yourself rest here a moment, just noticing how you feel. When we get to sort of take it in, notice how we feel, notice how a practice affects us, it actually affects us even deeper. It actually allows the effects of the practice to really root into the nervous system. It kind of creates a loop when we actually enjoy something, like enjoy the the effects of what we just did. It allows them to stay. It kind of roots them deeper into our body, into our bones. So you can do this as often as long as you want. If you'd like to go a little deeper, I'm offering a full moon portal on September 20th, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. You can find out more on my website, NicoleNardoni.com. And we're going to be really diving a lot deeper into specifically self-hypnosis. So all the ways that we the habits, the mental patterns, the mental sort of hypnoses that we fall into just in our daily lives. And we're going to use this Pisces moon to loop us out of those, to really release some of those patterns and to build new ones, right? To really open up the space so that we can be free to repattern our new habits, ones that are supportive of our lives. And we're also going to be spending a lot of time basking in love, because this Pisces moon, this like unconditional love, really, really beautiful sort of oceanic energy that's available to us. So we're really going to enjoy that. I hope to see you there. Sending so much love, so much love on this full moon.